Most of us use fiat currency every day, but almost nobody is ever told what the word fiat actually means, right? And once you understand it, modern money starts to look very different. Let's start with the word itself. Fiat comes from Latin. It means let it be done, or more simply, by decree, by declaration. So when we say fiat currency, we're talking about money that has value because it is declared to have value, not because it's made of something valuable, not because it's backed by physical assets, but because an authority says this is money and it must be accepted. Pause there for a moment. Most people assume money is valuable for intuitive reasons. You might assume it has value because it's backed by something real like gold, or it's naturally scarce, or it represents work that was done. Now, those assumptions make sense. But historically, though, money often was tied to something tangible, like gold, silver, commodities. But fiat currency breaks that intuition. And fiat money is not backed by gold. It's not backed by commodities. It's not limited by physical scarcity in the way metals are. Instead, it is backed by something else. It's backed by government authority. It is backed by legal tender laws, which means businesses are required to accept it for payment. And it is backed by tax obligations because governments require taxes to be paid in that currency. In other words, fiat money works because a system enforces its use. Now, it's important to be fair here. Fiat currency did not emerge randomly. Modern economies are large and complex, and governments need flexibility. They need the ability to increase or decrease the money supply during crises, recessions, wars, or financial shocks. And fiat currency allows that flexibility. There's no physical constraint like gold limiting how much can exist. That flexibility can be powerful. But flexibility always comes with trade-offs. If the supply of money is no longer tied to something scarce by nature, then what determines its limits? If money can be expanded by policy decisions, then what protects its long-term purchasing power? And if those decisions are made by institutions, who benefits most from that flexibility? And who quietly absorbs the cost when too much money is created? Now, you don't need to be an economist to feel the implication of this. You may have felt it when your savings seem to buy less over time. You may have felt it when holding cash feels risky. You may have felt the pressure to invest, not because you want to take risk, but because standing still felt unsafe. That feeling is not random. It's connected to the kind of monetary system you live in. Now, think back to something simple. If money is supposed to do three basic things, one is act as a medium of exchange, a unit of account, and a store of value, then fiat currency changes the third relationship in a very important way. When money supply depends on discretion rather than physical limits, storing value over long periods of time becomes a policy decision and not a structural guarantee. This doesn't mean fiat money doesn't work, by the way. Of course it works. You use it, I use it. The question is not whether it functions in transactions. The deeper question is whether a monetary system based on declaration rather than substance can remain stable, fair, and trustworthy over time. So let me leave you with this. If fiat money gets its value from declaration rather than intrinsic backing, then the real issue isn't whether it works day to day. It's whether a monetary system can stay fair and reliable when its limits depend entirely on discretion. Assalamu alaikum. If you're new here, my name is Parama, and alhamdulillah, I've been financially free for many years now. At this stage of my life, I'm more interested in helping others build prosperity as well. But inshallah, in a way that is halal and sustainable. Over time, I developed a step-by-step framework for halal prosperity so people can build a successful life in this world and inshallah aim for sadaqah jariyah, which is an ongoing deeds that continue to benefit others even after they're gone. I presented this framework at the World Bank in Washington, D.C. At its core, the framework is pretty simple, actually. First, learn how to protect your wealth, then grow it responsibly, and finally, distribute that wealth in ways that create lasting legacy and benefit. This channel is where I walk through that framework step by step. We start from the foundation of how money actually works, then move into protecting wealth first, then creating wealth responsibly, and eventually how that prosperity can support others, endure over time, and contribute to a life that balances deen and dunya. If this way of thinking about money and prosperity resonates with you, you're in the right place.